A sport relatively unknown only a decade ago, now inviting young athletes, old athletes, amateurs, and professionals all to this idyllic location, bringing together thousands of spectators watching all these professional athletes vying for $25,000 in prize money. Welcome to the 5th annual Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle competition.
The motion of the ocean, I'ma need it every day. Cause every time I surf, it make me feel healthy. And I love it. I'm feeling better and my body getting stronger. I love the feeling that I'm getting when I'm ripping every wave. The sailing in the air help me breathe easily. And I love it. And addicted and I just can't stop it. Come on, come on. Breath of life.
Welcome to Doheny State Beach Park here in Dana Point, California, where it's played host the past 5 years, the most exciting stand-up paddling event in years. Hi, I'm Bo Hodge along with Kaipo Guerrero, and we're going to be watching the world's best elite athletes vying for $25,000 in prize money. And who are competing out here, Kaipo?
Anybody and everybody who's into stand-up paddling is here today. The most anticipated race of the year. And we've already had some of the qualifying heats for this elite final. Past champions are here like Connor Baxter. We have Danny Ching out of Redondo Beach, as well as Jamie Mitchell out of Australia. On the women's end, we have Annabella Anderson out of New Zealand, past champion Candace Appleby out of San Clemente via Honolulu, Hawaii. Brandy Bassick is also in the chase today. And we're going to see some of these athletes with their phenomenal skills out on the course.
Don't forget about the young guns. The young guns are going to play a major factor out here today. In fact, let's go down to the beach with our roving reporter, Garth Wyckoff, who is soaking up the atmosphere down here in the sand.
Thanks, Bo. Well, boys, there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement down here. Literally thousands of people lining the sand here at Doheny State Beach for this wonderful event. Let's talk about the conditions here today. The sun is shining, but the wind is blowing. So we got textured surfaces, some choppy conditions for these riders to deal with out in the race today. The surf, 3 to 4 feet, which is going to make it kind of difficult for these guys when they paddle out towards the horizon line. The big thing to keep your eye on is the tide. We've had some full moons lately, so a big swing from the high tide of nearly 6 feet in the morning to a negative tide this afternoon. That's good news if you want to catch those waves way out on the outside, pick up some momentum, get some distance in your race coming back to the beach, but it's also going to present some shallow, difficult conditions on the inside here at Doheny. The sun is shining, the people are smiling. It's good vibes down here on the beach, boys.
Thanks, Garth. The Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle not only filled with amazing skill and endurance from all of our athletes, but we have a series of different challenges for our athletes today, ranging from the keiki race, the team relay, the open age group race, the elite professional race, and the enduring long-distance race. But also exhibitors from all over the world of the surf industry here gathered at Dana Point to show off all the new equipment.
That's right, Bo. And all the time we're raising funds for a very, very good cause. The Doheny State Beach Interpretive Association, started by 4 special guys who believed in the sport and believed in that very good cause.
Pat, how are you today?
Good. Okay, so how do you remember the Battle of the Paddle? Do you guys think you have more clear memory?
Well, I remember.
We all argue a little bit about how it really happened.
Right.
But,
well, we can have every version, and then I'll tell the truth.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Do you want to start it out, Ron?
Sure. So Jerry, Sparky, and I were talking in his kitchen, and Sparky was really getting enthusiastic about the stand-up thing he's just getting into. And he said, I want to have a party. I want to get everybody together. And I want to have fun, and I don't want it to be political. So I said, don't have a surf contest, have a race. He goes, yeah, that sounds good. We got to get everybody from all over the place. And I go, well, you got to give them money. And he said, how much? And I said, 10 grand. And he says, okay, I'm in. And I go, for first. He goes, okay, I'm still in.
And I remember, just having a discussion of this at the Rib Trader with Tom Pesman, and sorry, Jerry, but this is how you got into the mix of the race. He's like, there's just something not sexy about paddling around in circles in Dana Point like it is from paddling to Molokai to Oahu. And on a couple of vodkas, I'm like, well, what if we call it the Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle?
Oh, I remember that.
And he said, oh, you got a good idea there.
I remember that.
So that's how I got roped into it?
Yeah. Jerry said, we got to do this through the surf. This is not exciting. Well, we said, geez, I wonder if we can actually rent Doheny. Well, I don't know if we can rent that or not. We better ask.
But we had to make an event that was not only great for the paddlers, but something that the guys on the beach watching could get jazzed about. Well, I think that we got lucky, you know, that Doheny, as it turns out, is the absolute perfect venue for an event of this type. And we've kind of set a precedent, you know, for stand-up paddle racing in and out through the surf. But still, it's Doheny that really makes it.
I remember the first year, 7 in the morning, seeing the line out the back and just laughing. Like, it really happened.
I think that's why we did it in the first place, is because we were having such great fun at it, you know, that we wanted to share that. And it just seems like stand-up brings out the best aspects of everything that surfing used to be, you know, the whole family, the community, the friends doing it together and having a blast. And so that all kind of translates into our event. And I think I haven't spoken with anybody that's been to one of the events, either as a participant or just as a spectator, that hasn't said, I really had a great time.
What I really like about it is it's like a reunion every year, and you get to see your friends come from all over the place, and they're like really close friends. You really miss them, and then we all get together, and at least once a year we get to renew our friendships, and just really enjoy seeing the people from all over the place. There's really a feeling of like a tribal community amongst us all, and I'm really digging that. It's good fun.
That is nice. Oh my God, you see that one? I don't know about you guys. I'm out of there. Hey.
You ready to go?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Where are we going?
Surfing.
Let's go.
All right.
Man, those four guys are really amazing. Garth is down on the sand with the big guy right now.
Joining me now, it's the creator, the owner of Rainbow Sandals, the title sponsor here of the Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle, Sparky Longley. And we all know about you, but this event in its 5th year down here at Doheny Beach in Dana Point, what's it mean to you to look around, see all these crowds down here enjoying this fabulous event that you guys created?
Gosh, it really makes me happy because everybody's happy. The kids, the wives, the girlfriends, all the participants. Sun's out, there's waves, there's no wind. It's wonderful. It's so good to see all new faces try this sport because you can do it in 5 minutes on the lakes and rivers and the ocean, and it's a wonderful thing. Everybody's smiling, and it just warms my heart. I can't tell you.
Well, you're warming my heart with that smile. Thank you so much for your time. And guys, it's so great to be down here having guys like Sparky involved in this wonderful sport.
Thanks, Garth. Hey, you know, Sparky, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his idea and his enthusiasm, Kaipo.
That's right, Sparky makes his dream a reality here for the 5th annual Rainbow Sandals Battle of the Paddle.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle brought to you by Maui Jim Sunglasses, Welcome to Color, and by Kona Brewing Company. It's Liquid Aloha.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle brought to you by the Resorts of Dana Point. All year long, it's breathtaking, and that's the point. And by Duke's Restaurant, serving up a legacy of aloha.
Welcome back. What's exciting about the Battle of the Paddle event is the wide variety of exciting races, entertainment, activities, and what's happening all weekend long. This year's event started out with a national anthem and a traditional Hawaiian blessing. With lots of color and music, spectators line the beach. The open age group race, Kaipo, is the race where the local amateurs can compete and feel like they're the Connor Baxters and the Danny Chings and the Jamie Mitchells.
That's right, but also this weekend we have the distance race, which is going to prove to be a highlight from athletes racing from here at Doheny, about a 9-mile course. We also have the SUP-Surf Relay coming in. Teams of 4 going to be out there racing and tagging off to their partners in the SUP-Surf Relay.
We also have races for the kids. It's truly remarkable how the sport of stand-up paddleboarding has become so popular among all generations. Let's meet one family that gets everyone involved. Not only has the sport of stand-up paddling caught on with adult enthusiasts all over the world, but the sport has also begun to catch on with the kids. And one family that has really made a mark in the sport is the Clark family from San Clemente, California. John and Manya Clark caught the paddling bug a few years ago when they relocated to Southern California from the East Coast. And once they discovered their love for the sport, they knew it was a perfect fit for themselves and their 3 daughters, Aliana, Juliet, and Lila.
Well, I think as far as kids go with stand-up paddling, there aren't that many sports where you can start and be able to do it right away and feel good about the fact that, oh, I can stand up, I can paddle, I can get from here to there. It is something that they can feel that sense of accomplishment.
The Clark family also makes it a priority to travel with their daughters as much as possible.
For us, it was a great way to be able to see different places that you would normally not be able to go. Lake Tahoe, for example, we did a 10-mile paddle with our kids, and it was great. They got to see wildlife, stopped along the way. It allows kids to explore. It makes them feel good about the accomplishment of being able to do it.
Along with the busy travel schedule, the family plans regular workouts in order to prepare for all the local competitions. All 3 girls compete in various levels in kids divisions throughout the sport, including the Battle of the Paddle.
Races like the Battle of the Paddle, where they do put emphasis on the kids' races, and they have the age group set up so that everyone really feels like they've accomplished something. So if you're racing with a whole group of people and there's a lot of older kids that are obviously going to be able to do better, there's still recognition for the younger ones.
You don't really have to win or lose. You can just keep trying.
Paddling and you're passing by people and you see all your friends and my family and everybody's cheering each other on and you get to race with professional athletes and it's amazing.
And the kids, if they even are hesitant because they're tired, they've been working hard with school, once you get them to the water, they're just much happier people.
The hardest thing about stand-up paddling is getting off. I just don't want to stop paddling.
We love sharing it. I mean, we have nothing other than the interest in getting more people into it with their kids and spreading the rewards that we've had from it.
What a great family. The Battle of the Paddle is truly a family occasion, and all of these exciting events are not only to entertain, but to raise much-needed funds for a good cause. Let's take a look.
The Doheny State Beach Interpretive Association, or DSBIA, was founded in 1982 to promote educational and interpretive activities at Doheny State Park.
We are to Doheny State Beach what a PTA is to a school. So we provide a lot of the support here at the park, especially in interpretation, that the park can't provide itself. And Rainbow Sandals and Sparky Longleaf, they are our biggest contributor. They really support what we do here in the park. And as part of our day today, we have a kids zone, we have sand painting, we have a coloring contest going on. We also have some interpretive things. We have some whale skeletons and bones and sea otter pelts and sea lion pelts and things for students to put their hands on and kids to touch.
The biggest ongoing project is the remodel of the Visitor Center. When it opens in 2013, it will be Orange County's largest public aquarium.
We'll have about 250 to 300 different species of marine life in that aquarium.
In addition to the aquarium, wildlife can be found all around Doheny State Beach, including some new residents in the San Juan Creek.
Since we've been cleaning up the creek, the steelhead trout are beginning to run again, which is very exciting for us because we can interpret that, we can tell the public. And when the public knows the importance of the surroundings and the flora and fauna, then they begin to take care of it, and they know not to litter or dump oil down the drains and just really keep care of the environment, which is what we want people to do. We'd like to invite you down to learn about our history and to learn about the natural things, not only to enjoy what's on top of the waves, but to find out what's underneath the waves, because there's a variety of life right out here in these waters off our coast that few people know about.
The Doheny State Beach Interpretive Association doing so many amazing things here at the beach, and we'll be right back after this short break.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Riviera Paddle Surf, Enjoy the Glide, and by Northern Trust, a global leader in innovative investment management.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Patagonia. Quality outdoor clothing, apparel, and gear for climbing, hiking, surfing, running, and travel. And by Cliff Bar, nutrition for sustained energy.
Welcome back, and Kaipo, we're getting ready for the start of the granddaddy of them all, the elite race here at the Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle.
We all know that the Battle of the Paddle is spearheaded by Rainbow Sandals Corporation and their colorful owner, Jay Sparky Longley. Rainbow is an iconic leader in the fashion surf industry. Sparky started from humble beginnings and ended up putting high-quality shoes on the feet of people all over the world.
Well, a long time ago, there weren't any sandals. So there were these cheap things from China that the thing always pulled out when you were trying to run away from someone or walking in mud. And a friend of mine who lives right down the beach here, Walter Hoffman, showed up one time, and he had these really cool sandals on. I went, wow, where'd you get those, man? And he told me about Sparky.
I started Rainbow Sandals because I figured I could make footwear, functional footwear that would last forever, and that's what I've been doing.
I had to have a pair because, I was tired of going around barefoot all the time.
When I first started, I only had $200 and I'm not educated, knew nothing about rubber, or I'm not a chemist, so I didn't know about any of that. Luckily, I only had $200 to lose, so I just started out with a pair of scissors and a belt sander. So I would get the material to my foot and then draw my foot and cut it out because it was soft material, and then glue it up and then just try it, see what worked. It was so much trial and error. I made so many wrong things. And make 6 pair and sell them at the entrance to the Sawdust Festival in the parking lot, give them to the parking lot attendant. He'd sell them for $6 or $8. Take that $48, buy a couple more sheets, go do it again.
I've known Sparky for about 50 years now, and we kind of grew up in Newport Beach together. Sparky is very special, a very unique guy. He's always been ambitious and driven and hardworking. He's always paid attention to his own thing and not other people, and he's one of the few people who doesn't sit around and talk about other people and stuff. He has things he does, and he's always busy, and this is proof of it right here, He's worked this night and day for 37 years now.
I first started working here at Rainbow Sandals when I was 10 years old in the summer. I'd ride my bike here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and worked 3 hours a day, picking up cigarette butts, cutting arches,
just doing anything around here. He was really keen on me going to school because he never went to school. He says he's really dumb, but he's actually not. He's a genius, and maybe he didn't go to school, have any book smarts, but he knows what's going on.
When we were here in 1974, we were the first ones to make a sandal for the surf market. So I think that just stuck, and we made a functional item just like what Levi's did. Levi's is a functional item that became a fashion statement just because it was so functional and wore well, and that's what I feel I am. I'm a Levi's of the sandal business. I make a functional item, a brown leather sandal that everybody wears because it feels good and it molds to their foot, and it doesn't look bad after 10 years.
People that buy Rainbow sandals are people that like the lifestyle, like to travel, like to go to the beach, like to have fun, like to be active. And they like a pair of sandals that are on their feet. They're going to go with them to do all these kind of things. And it's interesting just to put that in perspective.
Well, the frame sandal in the front, that's fun for us. People started sending their sandals in with these letters. Hi, you don't know me, I was in the South Pole, I walked all blah, 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 I walked up here, and their sandals are just shy. They're worn out. It's just fun to see that people are happy wearing the stuff. So we framed them, and then other people send theirs in because they're stoked that they have these things and they got a good feeling from it. I think that people like Rainbow sandals because they last a long time, and they get a good value and they feel good. And I think that's important. It's important to me. I try to make that. And for 26 years, we've never really changed our fashion too much.
Sparky, I don't think he'd know how to slow down. I mean, he's very active, and he's not working, he's active, you know. He snowboards and does all the various things he does. And people have offered him a lot of money for this company. I don't think he'd ever take it because he wouldn't know what to do. He's worked so hard here for so long, you know.
I never, when I started, had the money or the time to help anybody else. I was trying to help myself. So now I'm in a position and really like giving back and helping. I believe that education for children is really important. So we give to really a lot of different charities that help kids. It's my most important thing. My vision for Rainbow Sandals, I just want to, if I can keep doing what I'm doing, and if they still like my sandals, I'll keep doing it forever. Because it's fun to give, and that's what I'm really doing, is giving people something of value that feels good for them. That's very cool. If you can do that, that's a wonderful thing, I think.
Sparky is a really inspirational guy. Another guy who also inspires us is down with Garth right now.
Well, guys, a man that certainly does not need an introduction, the icon, the surfing legend, Mr. Pipeline himself, Gerry Lopez. And Gerry, let's just talk about the sport as a whole. Certainly not like pulling into big barrels at double overhead pipeline, but a lot of pure stoke associated with this, whether you're competing, paddle surfing, or paddle boarding in the open water. Tell me about your passion and what you like about this sport.
I like the fun factor. Every time I go out, I mean, you know, of course, in the surf, it's much more fun. But even on the flat water, you're having fun. You're gliding around, you're just ghosting around. It's the greatest thing in the world. And that's why the sport's taking off, because, you know, these people who've maybe been frustrated or maybe never even tried to have an experience in surfing can actually come out and on their first day, get on a big old paddle board, you know, stand up and be gliding around and kind of feel like they're surfing. And that's what it's like. That's why it's so great.
We talk about this sport is growing in leaps and bounds, and right along with it is this event. What makes the Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle such a special event?
Well, the people, obviously, competitors and, you know, spectators. But we have a format for the race, in and out through the surf. It's exciting. I mean, you sit here, every one of these people is just eyes glued on, you know, and you can't see it all at once because there's too much going on. But it's just, when there's surf involved, it throws a whole nother monkey wrench, I would say, into the equation, and stuff happens, man. It's great.
Well, Gerry, it's certainly an honor and a privilege to have you down here this weekend. And Bo, Kaipo, certainly this event and the sport of stand-up paddleboarding is in good hands with a man and a name like Gerry Lopez associated with it.
Thanks, Garth. You know Gerry Lopez, a master in surfing, snowboarding, windsurfing, and now stand-up paddling. What a great leader to have in this sport.
And it is always a pleasure to hang out with the original pipeline master, Gerry Lopez.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Hobie Surf Shops and by the California State Parks. Visit parks.ca.gov. San Onofre State Beach offers a surfer's paradise with 7 miles of beachfront and legendary surf breaks. San Onofre State Beach is one of hundreds of California state parks protecting the state's natural and cultural environment and offering high-quality recreational and educational opportunities. Plan your next California State Park adventure by visiting parks.ca.gov. This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle brought to you by Maui Jim Sunglasses, Welcome to Color, and by Kona Brewing Company. It's Liquid Aloha.
Joining me now, it's Ron House, one of the creators of the Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle, and also a world-class shaper of stand-up paddle boards. Ron, let's start first with these high-performance boards that the elite athletes are using here this weekend. How are they different from a recreational stand-up paddle board?
Generally, a recreational board will be wider, primarily. A lot of times, the boards can be somewhat similar because in flat water paddling, even at recreational level, a race-style board goes through the water better. It's more fun, more gratifying to paddle. And then you've got all the way down to surfboard-shaped things that don't paddle as well, but they can be real wide and forgiving for beginners.
Let's talk about some of the sizes and shapes of these. A pretty long board. Give me an idea of the dimension.
This one here that I'm standing next to is 12 foot 6 inches long, and it's 27 1/4 inches wide, which is kind of medium for a race board. They can get narrower. And this one's a little under 5 inches thick. There's some variation in the designs from one builder to another, but I think as time goes on, they're going to start narrowing down on the types of shapes that there are as we figure out what actually works the best.
Just like the sport of surfing, it's always an evolution in process. Ron, thank you so much for your time. Let's head back up to the booth with Bo and Kaipo.
Hey, thanks, Garth. Well, this is the race for all the money. $5,000 goes to the winner of the elite race. We got the best paddlers in the world, and this is going to be a challenging course, Kaipo. How do they start? Do they start in the water or do they start on the shoreline?
We're going to start in the water, about knee-deep, a beach start, and they're going to take that straight out to a far outside buoy. That outside buoy, they're going to take a left-hand turnaround and head their way into the jetty or hammer area of Doheny State Beach. The inside buoy, take a turn around there. That inside buoy is in the surf line, so negotiating that buoy turn is going to be key in success of this race. They're going to come through again, take another midway buoy, right-hand turn around that buoy, and into the shore for their first lap through the chute or the chicane, the beach run, and then transitioning back onto their board for the inside course.
And now they're going to be doing this inside course not once, not twice, but 3 times.
3 laps on the inside course with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buoy turns. We are just moments away from the start right now. In the elite race, we have them all lined up. 101 racers.
Well, let's check this out, Kaipo. We've got Connor Baxter, Slater Trout, Danny Ching, all on the left-hand side. So that means Jamie Mitchell is down by the right-hand side. So strategy on the takeoff is already being employed on the start of this elite race.
I think these guys are looking at maybe a little bit deeper water to get started as opposed to
the shallow end over by Boneyards, huh?
Yeah, further north, that Boneyards is going to be a little bit more shallow, a little bit more challenging, I think, for starts.
And here we go. We have a start.
Wow.
The 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle Elite Race. Let's watch the field here as they go out. Some great camera work from our Cox crew here.
Connor Baxter getting a bit of a hole shot. He's currently in second place.
Cody Kerbox, also out of Maui, the son of World Cup champion out of Sunset Beach, Buzzy Kerbox. So watch Cody, number 116. And we can see number 2, that is Jamie Mitchell, the 2009 Elite Champion. He is the 10-time Molokai to Oahu paddleboard champion. And now the start for the Wahinis.
All right, so that's our ladies' start right there with a staggered start.
So the ladies 1 minute behind the men on the start. Well, I tell you, Jamie Mitchell's had an excellent start. I think his strategy towards the shallow end side got him out into that lead, and Connor Baxter was in that group that was off on the left-hand side, but Cody Kerbox had an excellent start from that high end side.
No big front runners right now. It's all a pack. It's all a cluster as they're heading out to their first turn on that outside buoy.
So taking a look on the outside, we've got our first competitors rounding the buoy on the outside, and it looks like number 116, Cody Kerbox. But right now, Kai Linney, also out of Maui, he has taken over the lead.
Well, there you go, Bo. We know Kai, 2-time world stand-up surfing champion.
In the waves, in the wave surfing division of SUP Racing.
And so now Kai's been concentrating a little bit more on the race aspect, and it's showing.
Well, right now we can tell you in that front pack is 2009 Elite Champion winner, former world champion, and current ISA world champion, Jamie Mitchell, is in 3rd place right now.
And it looks like, no surprise, Candace Appleby, our defending champ, out in front for the ladies.
Not only defending champ, she has won the last 2 years in 2010, 2011.
Well, I'm telling you, somebody who wants that title very, very bad. We're talking to her early. Annabelle Anderson out of New Zealand is right behind Candace Appleby in 2nd place currently. And it looks like we got the Big Island's own Jenny Kalmbach in 3rd place currently.
So, Kaipo, this year, surf's going to play a major factor. Not only riding inside, but going back outside, going in and out through the surf. Talk about how the surf's going to change this race this year from last year, where we pretty much were paddling in a lake here at Dana Point.
Certainly, Bo. We do have a south swell right now in the water. The south swell has been growing throughout the day. We have low tide conditions causing the waves to break even more. So that's going to give, as we see on camera right now, a free ride in for some of our competitors.
And going down is Cody Kerbox. Nice turn on the inside. That's Danny Ching. And Danny has gone from about 6th place to 2nd place on the turn.
Beautiful kick turn by Danny Ching around that buoy, showing you his mastery and a nice punch through that white water.
Oh, there's the carnage. Here we go. A couple of guys lost boards. No leashes on these boards.
Valuable time.
Oh, my gosh. This is the lead group, Kaipo, and we were just talking about that. The surf's going to play a major factor. Some of the top guys are going to get blown out early.
Yep, and we see that. And with this crew, you cannot make up a minute. You lose your board, you have to swim for a minute. With this elite crew, you will not be able to make up that minute on the course.
Well, we talked about our pre-race favorites. I like Danny Ching in this race.
Yep.
And who do you like?
I like young Connor Baxter. I think the kid's got it going on. He's a Molokai to Oahu champ. He does it in the long distance. He does it in the sprint races. He's currently in 3rd place right now with that unique paddle stroke that he uses.
18-year-old Connor Baxter has been dominating this sport. He took the title of this event last year and shared with us his goal for the elite race this year.
My goals for the 2012 Battle of the Paddler, I mean, of course, I won it last year, so that's the ultimate goal. I did it once, can do it again, right? But just have fun and hopefully have a good race, you know? I mean, there's a lot of great athletes here, some of the top athletes, and it's going to be interesting, and we're all going to be paddling our hardest, and we'll see how it goes.
And right now, it's going like this. Kai Linney in 1st. Danny Ching, the champion from 2 years ago, in 2nd. Connor Baxter, defending champion, in 3rd place. And now we're seeing these guys catch a wave and possibly overtake our leader.
Well, that was a little bit of heartbreak right there for Connor Baxter.
Took a gamble.
Yeah, he tried to climb onto that wave, wasn't quite able to do it, but it looks like young Kai Linney is going to be the first to the beach for this first lap. Connor Baxter in 2nd. Danny Ching gets on a wave, and so it's going to be Danny Ching and Connor Baxter coming in 2nd and 3rd place.
Let's watch Kai. He's refueling with his Camelback. He's getting some liquids, almost losing his balance. Now, you wouldn't think he would fall off since he's the 2-time world SUP wave champion.
He takes a look back over his shoulder to see where the rest of his competitors are. They're one wave behind him, so he doesn't have a giant lead as he hits the beach, and he's going to do this run through the chicane.
And here we go, two-time SUP wave world champion Kai Lenny now coming across in the chicane all by himself. Second and third right now, Connor Baxter and Danny Ching, the winners of the last 2 years of this elite race.
Yeah, and Jamie Mitchell right behind them, along with Kelly Margetts.
So the Aussies are right now in 4th and 5th place. And look, a tie for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. And Mo Freitas in that group, the young 15-year-old out of Haleiwa.
You know, I've been so impressed with Mo Freitas' accomplishments through this last year. This young man has really come up, and he's giving the big boys a run right now in this year's Battle of the Paddle, as all of these paddlers hit the chicane, hit the beach, and they're going to do a run around.
Here we go. Bo O'Brien out of Australia. He's in that yellow jersey, number 9. There's Slater Trout, number 7, as they run through the chicane.
That's
and
right.
These guys all in that same group. Talk about the strategy and the technique these guys have to use going into the waves.
You know, what you want to do when you're hitting a wave or a whitewash, you want to match that wave's power with your own. So these guys are going to paddle full force into those waves. A lot of these boards have these new piercing style of noses that allows the board to pierce through the wave easier than your traditional rockard board that we've seen in the past. It looks like Kai Lenny with quite a lead. Danny Ching in second, Connor Baxter in third right now.
On the shoreline, there's number 14, Jenny Combach. Jenny, the winner in 2008 at the Elite. And also behind her is Candace Appleby, our 2-time defending champion.
Well, right now in first is Annabelle Anderson out of New Zealand. And she's in the lead right now for our ladies. Annabelle, she wants that title. She's been a bridesmaid before, and she wants to take out a Battle of the Paddle win. Candace Appleby in second, Jenny Kalmbach in third for the ladies. Jenny Kalmbach is one of the fiercest female competitors in the race. We sat down with her earlier and asked her what her strategy for the race today is.
Battle the paddle waves, it's survival, you know, stay on your board, make your buoy turns, catch as many waves as you can. You know, you could be losing the race and catch a wave from behind and surf it all the way to the front. You could be in front and have someone come from behind. So really it's just about being on it and being the best you can be that day, and just hoping that a little luck goes your way as well. So there's a lot of tough girls this year, and I'm just kind of hoping that I can fight my way through and hope maybe to the top.
Yeah, last year it was Candace Appleby in first, Brandy Bastick in second, and Annabelle Anderson in third in the elite group last year in 2011. Kai Lenny in the lead, number 5, followed by Danny Ching in second place, and Connor Baxter in third. Still hasn't changed after they left the chicane.
These guys aren't going to give up an inch through this entire race, and we're seeing the best of the best. But right now, it looks like Kai Lenny, he's got his race head on right now.
Well, I tell you, 1, 2, and 3 have broken off from the second tier of the pack. And we're going to talk about the pack because these waves coming in are going to either bring these guys together or really separate these guys from apart. Who is our leading Wahine at this time?
Annabelle Anderson out of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And right behind her is Candace Appleby. So it's going to be a battle between Annabella and Candace for the women, as well as Jenny Kalmbach right behind them.
Here we go on the inside buoy. Kai Lenny making the bottom turn. Pulls the board around. Danny Ching from Redondo Beach, champion from 2 years ago. He's right behind him, just about 2 yards back. Connor Baxter with a nice turn. There he goes on the sprint. So 1, 2, and 3 have negotiated on the inside buoy.
All right, so they're going to head their way out to one more buoy turn, get around that buoy, and then head into the beach for another run through the chicane.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Patagonia. Quality outdoor clothing, apparel, and gear for climbing, hiking, surfing, running, and travel. And by Cliff Bar, nutrition for sustained energy.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Hobie Surf Shops and by the California State Parks. Visit parks.ca.gov. Welcome back, folks. We're going to see some new top 10 elite athletes come out of this race that we have never known before.
Well, it is really good to see some new names as the sport of stand-up paddling has been growing. We've had a huge contingent from Florida. We have the lake paddlers coming through, as well as the whole crew from Tahoe coming down. We got the Aussies here. We got New Zealand participants, Tahitians, of course, all the Hawaiians. So
the Hood River guys, the Colorado River guys.
So, but here's our top three pack right now. They're making their way into the beach. Danny Ching, Kai Lenny, Connor Baxter, and looks like Danny Ching's gonna go and take the lead right here if he can get on this bump, and he does so. So now in the lead, our defending champ,
local knowledge,
Danny Ching.
Local knowledge has got him into the inside. You know, Kai, you know, competes all around the world, but I think Danny Ching, local California kid, right now knows the area. He knows low tide, where to go.
Well, Bo, you said earlier how the surf is going to play a major factor in this race, and that's exactly what happened. Danny was able to get on a small bump. That bump propelled him, getting him past Connor Baxter. But look at this man, Connor Baxter. He's going to power into this bump, hopping up and down, see if he can get on it, trying all his might, and he does so. So all of our top three guys on the same swell riding through the beach right now, and it's going to be a run through the chicane.
Oh, and these guys are going to love riding this wave because you know why? They can rehydrate. You can see Kai Lenny. You can see Danny Ching. They have the camelbacks. And now these guys are going to get replenished, and these guys are going to get a little bit of rest from their shoulders and their arms in the sprint. And now we are halfway through the elite race.
That's right. The smart racer takes advantage of that swell, takes some time to relax his muscles, get some more breath in him. And these guys are going to hit all the beach all at the same time and run through the chicane. It's going to be a run race right now.
Here we go. Danny Ching, number 3. Connor Baxter, number 1. Kai Lenny, number 5. It is Baxter, Lenny, and Ching. And they're getting some water. They're getting some hydration. We can see Martin Lenny down on the shoreline. Board caddy taking care of his son. There we go. Connor Baxter.
Beautiful
on his
transition.
Knees, transition there. Then they get to the stand-up position. Kai Lenny also getting to his knees. And you can see Danny doing a little bit of run through the shallow end, and then he gets up. So 2 different techniques. The Maui boys on their knees.
Yeah.
4 or 5 strokes get up, and Danny Ching with the little hop, skip, up. So momentum is what they're trying to get.
That's right. And Connor Baxter using that Connor stroke we've said is unorthodox. He pretty much invented this type of paddling using, choking down on his blade.
Kelly Marguerite's currently in 4th place running through the chicane, and here we go. That's Mo Freitas. And also in that group, we can see number 69, Jake Jensen, number 2, Jamie Mitchell, and also number 7, Slater Trout from Maui.
Well, I'm telling you, now we look at the ladies, the Wahines, and it looks like the Kiwi, Annabelle Anderson, still out in front, and Candace Appleby in 2nd, hitting the beach right now, but Annabella with a pretty good lead.
Well, this is her coming out party. She was 3rd place to Candace last year behind Brandy Bastek also. So this could be the year that she comes out 1st place in the elite group.
Well, I talked to Annabelle last year, and she really, really wants to take Candace Appleby, and she's doing so right now in this race.
Connor Baxter still in 1st, followed by Kai Lenny in 2nd, and Danny Ching in 3rd. You see our top competitors negotiating the shallow areas here at Dana Point, known as boneyards. And right now, these guys are nose to tail, 1, 2, and 3.
That's right.
So Annabelle Anderson out of New Zealand, taking advantage of some good techniques early in the race, and she is right now leading over our 2-time defending champion, Candace Appleby.
Yeah, she's done the work up front, and it's showing right now. She wants it, and she's looking and has a good lead. It's all about preparation.
Well, here we go. Wave's going to play a factor. Kai Lenny is caught up from third place into the lead with their lead group, and now all three are on the wave. Danny Ching on the right side, Kai Lenny in the middle. Now they're going to be making the turn. And who has the advantage? Danny Ching on the inside. And he makes the turn first. So he goes from second to first. Kai Lenny goes from third to second. And Connor Baxter goes from first to third. Wow. So we talked about how the surf was going to play a factor, and the wave at the turn buoy has proved the outside left buoy to prove the most difficult.
Yeah, that's right, Bo. And all of that changes because of that buoy turn right there. Danny Ching showing impeccable technique with a nice kick turn around that buoy. Got to the inside the other two, Kai Lenny and Connor Baxter, and now he's in the lead.
You know, Kaipo, this swell and these waves this weekend are going to definitely challenge for all these competitors, but Danny Ching is taking this in stride. And yesterday we hung out with Danny, and he told us how he's planning to manage the swell on this course.
Yes, they are calling for a record swell tomorrow. I was fortunate enough, the first stand-up paddle race I did was the 2009 one. You know what? This race is by far my favorite, but it's also probably, I'm at the biggest disadvantage. In the distance paddling stuff, I tend to do very well. With the surf, going in and out, and just the number of competitors, it definitely throws a big wrinkle into it. I would love to go top 10, but with the young guys coming up and the old experienced guys that have been around, the surf is going to play a huge, huge role. And if I get lucky, I could be way ahead, and if I get unlucky, I could be swimming from my board on the beach.
Danny Ching out in front right now. Connor Baxter in second, Kai Lenny in third.
Now we're seeing the physical conditioning of these athletes, and two of the best are in first and second right now, Connor Baxter and Danny Ching.
Well, here's a breakaway for Ching. He gets on this swell, and that is going to open up that gap. All he's got to do is relax and surf this wave in, get a breather, maybe get a sip of water.
Here we go. Kai Lenny on the outside with a bump now. Connor Baxter needs to catch this wave to stay in second place, and he does. So Danny Ching is now broken away from the lead pack. Remember, on the outside, they were drafting each other, 1, 2, and 3. They were just inches apart from each other. It was on the inside turn buoy that Danny Ching made his move, and now he has opened up a gap. So here we go. Danny Ching on the inside. The crowd, thousands of people down here lined up at Dana Point cheering him on. Danny Ching out of Redondo Beach, California, the 2010 Elite winner, now in the lead, number 3. And he's got something to prove.
He sure does.
Look at him. He's looking at his competitors. He gave them a stare down. And look at Connor Baxter and Kai Lenny. They are sprinting up the chicane where Danny Ching was just jogging. Here we go. The Maui boys now making their transition. Look at these guys.
They're talking to each other, bumping each other.
They're going, dude, relax. Connor was telling Kai, hey, relax, because in the qualifying, Kai was kind of cutting him off, and Connor was like, hey, take it, take it. And there was a little bit of a tussle through the chicane. There were some elbows and some jawing going on.
Good friends, but fierce competitors, the two Maui boys, Connor Baxter and Kai Lenny. All right, the Kiwi, Annabella Anderson.
Danny Ching has opened up a huge lead, Kaipo. He is out there by the lead boat, and he's a good 30, 40 yards ahead, maybe even 50 yards ahead of Kai Lenny in second and Connor Baxter in third.
Danny Ching, second-generation canoe paddler, showing some of that great technique that he's developed as an outrigger canoe paddler and applying that to stand-up paddling. And you can just see how he glides and has just perfect entry, power, exit, and recovery on his stroke.
Watching in the middle of the field, we're having a lot of our competitors catching a lot of waves, and some of our competitors heading out into the surf.
And right now we got Danny Ching in first,
Kai Lenny in second,
and Connor Baxter now in third.
So here we go. We can now lock eyes onto Danny Ching. He's made the negotiation on the outside, and he's looking for, and we're seeing more of the wind play a factor this afternoon than we did this morning. This morning was kind of light in variables, but now the northerlies are now starting to come through.
Yeah, so that's certainly going to take effect on the course right there, and you're going to have to do some wind management with your paddling as well.
So a lot of our lead group almost lapping up some of the slower racers in the elite group. But Danny Ching out in the lead, the 2010 Elite Champion. Don't go away. We'll be right back. This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by Riviera Paddle Surf. Enjoy the glide. And by Northern Trust, a global leader in innovative investment management.
This portion of the 2012 Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle is brought to you by the Resorts of Dana Point. All year long, it's breathtaking, and that's the point. And by Duke's Restaurant, serving up a legacy of aloha.
The Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle in its 5th year here at Dana Point. $5,000 goes to our winning man. $3,000 goes to our winning lady first place. That's a lot of prize money. So Danny Ching has made the turn on the outside, and he's coming in. And look at him stroke. He's determined. I told you, he was my favorite coming into this race.
Well, Danny, well-versed both on a stand-up paddle as well as sitting down in a canoe. And just that great technique that Danny has, as well as that physical endurance coming into play.
Couldn't catch that wave out the back, so he backs off. Now he's looking to see, okay, where is my competitor? You see Kai Linney has just made the turn. Connor Baxter approaching the buoy on the outside. So on the inside, here we go. We are 43 minutes into this contest. Danny Ching with a huge advantage. Look at this big wall of whitewater. He's got to make sure he stays on this wave.
Kai Linney right behind him trying to power through the back of that wave and get on that swell, and he does so. So good job by Kai Linney. He literally climbed up the back of that wave to catch that wave.
Here we go, Danny Ching from Redondo Beach, California in the lead. Kai Linney making up a lot of ground. I think his wave on the inside is really propelling him on the inside. And look at Kai Linney. When he's off balance, he's in balance. He's so in tune with his board and his body. Here we go, Danny Ching. This is it. He's coming across. Kai Linney now coming across. And Kai Linney will take second place. So first place, Danny Ching. Second place, Kai Linney out of Maui. Third place, catching a wave on the inside. Here we go, Connor Baxter, last year's defending champion. And a round of applause to the thousands of people down here at Dana Point cheering on last year's champion. He loves this sport, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. He's a competitor all the way to the end. He's just having a good time out there.
But the elements beat Connor Baxter today, Kaipo, right?
100%. You called it at the beginning of the race. The surf was going to be a factor. The surf was a factor for Connor Baxter.
Kelly Margetts comes in fourth, and we've got 3 competitors coming through. And Mo Freitas is in that pack. Slater Trout, Jamie Mitchell, former champion of this event. Jamie Mitchell, a 10-time Molokai to Oahu Prone Paddleboard World Champion. Also the ISA Stand-Up World Champion from this past year. So who is it going to be, Kaipo? Who's going to have the endurance? And these guys are going for it. Freitas, Trout.
It's going to be a race
and Mitchell
to the finish line.
All right, here we go, the dismount. There's the run. Call it, Kaipo.
Slater Trout, 5th place. Mo Freitas finishing up in 6th place. And Jamie Mitchell.
Annabelle Anderson has now come across the line. $3,000 richer as the first Wahine, the first lady to finish in this 2012. And there she is, Kaipo, number 13.
Out of New Zealand, Annabelle Anderson. We knew she was on fire last year. She wanted that win. She wanted to take Candace, and she has done so. This year's female Battle of the Paddle champion.
The finish line right now, waiting for Annabelle to show up, and she's carrying that Kiwi
Annabelle
flag.
Anderson out of New Zealand will take first place and $3,000 for her win at 2012. And we talked about the coming out party for the men. Annabelle Anderson, third place last year behind Brandy Bastick and Candace Appleby. And now she's first place in 2012.
That's right. Got to run through the finish with her New Zealand flag.
Here we go. Candace Appleby in second place. A good 2-3 minutes behind Annabelle Anderson out of New Zealand. And here we go. Here's Candace Appleby, a two-time defending champion, the 2010-2011 elite champion. And she comes across the line, and the people down here at Dana Point cheering her on. And she'll be back.
So let me get this straight. Annabella said she started.
Our third Wahine, Brandy Bastick. She was third place in 2009, second place in 2010, second place in 2011, and now third place in 2012.
And right behind her for the Wahines is Kona girl, Jenny Kalmbach. She's going to be hitting the beach for the fourth place finish. Jenny, a former Molokai to Oahu solo champ.
Kaipo, what an exciting race. And I tell you, this elite race this year in 2012 really lived up to the name Battle of the Paddle.
It sure was a battle, and we have Garth down on the beach with Danny Ching, this year's champ.
Standing with the champion, Danny Ching. He wins the men division of the elite race in Dana Point. The second time you've done it. Congratulations. And it looked like you made your move on that inside buoy turn on the second lap. You caught that wave. Was that the difference in this race?
That's always a difference. It's always a wave. You got to put yourself in the right position. I saw Kai and Connor got a nice hole shot on the first lap, and I did everything I could just to catch back up. And when I saw that wave, I just kept thinking, if I can get this might be the decider.
Second win here in Dana Point, $5,000 richer in your pocket. How does this feel?
This is incredible. The money is awesome. The event that Rainbow puts on is great. And just, I got a lot of friends and family here, and that definitely helped me out there.
Well, not only the men were exciting, Kaipo, but the ladies put on the race. Candace Appleby did not win for a third year in a row, and it was a newcomer.
Yeah, and we got Garth down on the beach with our winner, Annabelle Anderson.
Well, guys, I have a very happy Kiwi. Annabelle Anderson from New Zealand is our Wahine, our female champion from the elite division. And Annabelle, third place at this event last year. You're telling me you've only been doing stand-up paddleboard competitions for 2 years, and today you're a champion. How does this feel?
It feels completely unbelievable. I'm still a little shocked and in disbelief at it all. I still learn every time I go out in the water, and it's given me the most insane opportunities. You know, 2 years ago I was still sitting behind a desk working for big bag corporates in London, and this is worlds away from 2 years ago. I can't believe it. Yeah, this is one for New Zealand and one for a lot of other people today.
Let's take a look at the final top 10 results for the men in this elite final race. At the top of the list, the veteran 29-year-old Danny Ching of Redondo Beach reclaimed his crown, taking first place, defeating the Youngbloods 19-year-old Kai Lenny and last year's champion 18-year-old Connor Baxter. And for the women in the elite race final, New Zealand's Annabelle Anderson dominated the race, paddling in almost a full 3 minutes ahead of her tough competitors Candace Appleby and Brandy Bastick. An amazing display put on by all the women in this competition.
Kaipo, what an exciting event. I think this year is going to go down in history. The 5th annual Rainbow Sandals Gerry Lopez Battle of the Paddle will be one to remember. And of course, it wouldn't all be possible without our great sponsors, Sparky from Rainbow Sandals and his crew, another award-winning job, and our premium sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
That's right, Bo. And finally, I'd like to thank the state parks officials headed by Lori Coble, as well as our California State Beach lifeguards who kept all of our competitors safe throughout the weekend. I'm Kaipaguro, along with Bo Hodge and Garth Wyckoff. We'd like to bid you a warm farewell and aloha!